I thank you for that chance, and I call upon Honorable Sankok, Mtoto wa Mungu, to second.
Honorable Sankok. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And on the onset, I want to second this very important bill, Honorable Speaker, that will rid our country of massive corruption, which is a cancer that is eating us as a country. Honorable Speaker, the import of this bill, Honorable Speaker, is basically to make sure that those who steal from the public are not fined only less than 1 million, but it should be more than 1 million. The jail term increases from at least 10 years to over 10 years, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the issue of corruption in our country cannot be overemphasized, Honorable Speaker. It is a cancer that make sure that we don't have drugs in our hospital. Honorable Speaker, salaries nowadays to get in our county government is a problem because of corruption, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, even access to government procurement opportunity, a very well-intended policy, Honorable Speaker, that was supposed to hold the hands of the weaker members of our society. Access to government procurement opportunities by women, youth, and persons with disability, Honorable Speaker, due to corruption. This very nice policy and law is not jump-starting the economy of our poorest members of our society simply because of corruption, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it is through corruption that we don't have divers in the coast. The coast guards don't have equipment to save the 2 lives that we lost in the coast, Honorable Speaker, because of corruption, Honorable Speaker. A car in the coast in Likoni Ferry, Honorable Speaker, floated for almost more than 5 minutes. But because of corruption, Honorable Speaker, there were no divers around. There were the Coast Guards that was just launched the other day were not around, Honorable Speaker, and even the managing director or the CEO of the Kenya Ferry Service had the audacity to come and address the media, Honorable Speaker, because corruption in our country is like something that is the day-to-day life, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, that is why this law is very important for us to amend as a House, Honorable Speaker, to deter people from corruption, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, because of corruption, the government itself have become the greatest encroacher of our forest, Honorable Speaker. In Mao Forest, there are schools built by the government. There are roads built by the government. There are, Honorable Speaker, electricity connected by the government inside the forest, because corruption is inbuilt in our own government system, Honorable Speaker. Title deeds were issued, Honorable Speaker, of government forest, because to us, corruption is a lifestyle, and that people can get away with corruption, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, because if you find, Honorable Speaker, someone who have stolen billions, 1 million Kenya shillings, Honorable Speaker, they already have the money, because they have already stolen, Honorable Speaker. We have not been able to deter corrupt individuals in our country because our law is not deterrent enough for those corrupt individuals, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we have come from very many fronts of fighting corruption, Honorable Speaker, through social media, Honorable Speaker, and we have failed. Through lifestyle audit, Honorable Speaker, we have failed, Honorable Speaker. Through banning Arambes, Honorable Speaker, we have not succeeded, Honorable Speaker, because we have been fighting a losing battle. The best way is to enact relevant laws and to amend relevant laws that will deter this corrupt individual, Honorable Speaker. We have gone to a popularity media spree of claiming that people are carrying money in sacks to churches, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, if your faith allows you to carry in paperback, the churches have not denied you that opportunity, Honorable Speaker. We have gone to certain levels. The churches have not refused to accept you as if you can carry in paperback or in wallet and whatever. You know, this popularity spree in the media of trying to say that people are carrying bags and sacks
What
of
is
money.
order? What is it,
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Tanui?
Honorable Speaker.
Just a minute. What is it, Honorable Tanui?
Maybe you can guide the honorable member who is seconding that when we are doing fundraising, it doesn't mean that we are doing corruption. I don't know the relevance of his contribution to this bill when he's talking about penalties only, while he wants to associate. In fact, he is imputing improper motive on the issues of fundraising, because when people out of goodwill go and contribute, that should not be seen as corruption. How is he relating the two?
Maybe we'll have to clarify that, though imputing improper motive, I'm not so sure, because against who? But let's hear. The issue actually that I get from Honorable Tanu is the issue of relevance.
Honorable Speaker.
Yes, but proceed, I hear.
I think Honorable Tonui was a bit asleep when I was describing this issue. I have just said we have gone into a losing battle by fighting corruption through the social media, by fighting corruption through what we call lifestyle audit, yet the proper way to fight corruption is to enact the relevant laws in this House to deter corrupt individuals. I've said we have gone into a popularity spree of trying to say that people are carrying sacks of money into churches, yet those who are claiming so should carry theirs in paper bags or in wallets because the church cannot refuse, Honorable Speaker. What I'm just saying is that the way to fight corruption is through this bill, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, because even if we have fought corruption through all those social media avenues and media avenues and lifestyle audit issues, we still had Goldenberg, and it have come here and it have gone. We still had Anglo-Leasing, NYS1, NYS2, NHIF. There are still a lot of corruption happening in our country, yet in that particular fight, in those fronts that we have been fighting corruption, we have not succeeded. And that's why I'm saying it is good for this House to enact this proper legislative framework for us to be able to deter those who are involved in corruption, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, that is why I'm saying Honorable Tonui got me very wrong. I'm not saying it is wrong to do fundraising. But Honorable Speaker, I had said fighting it by banning fundraising that will not assist us to fight corruption. Claiming people are carrying money in sacks does not assist us in fighting corruption. What will assist us in fighting corruption is to enact and amend this law.
You know, I probably do not understand. You are saying people carrying money in sacks do not assist in fighting corruption. So it becomes a bit difficult. Then I am tempted to think Honorable Tanui was right. But anyway, you are about to conclude. What is it, Honorable Bukose?
Mr. Speaker, I think it is important that you guide the honorable member in terms of contribution, because when he is contributing in terms, we don't fight corruption through the social media. That's just a way, it's just one of the ways of passing news. The issue that has been raised by Honorable Tanui is the issue of relevance, Honorable Speaker, in terms of his contribution, because all those that he's giving, the methods of fighting corruption is through the Act, and what the Honorable Tindi's Act entails is an amendment, which is to improve into what is in the Economic Crimes Act. So I think the member should be relevant in his contribution and stick to the amendment of the bill.
Whereas I agree with you, Honorable Bukose, I think Honorable Sankok has been fairly relevant. With, of course, some few areas of side issues, which is understood when it is Honorable Sankok speaking. But now that we are in the House, let us stick to, because you are building a very good case for your amendment together with the Honorable Dindi. So I think we can just pursue that particular direction without having to get into side issues. But you are doing well anyway. So you can now
Thank you very
finalize
much.
Your contribution.
Very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Bukose is a ranking member, and he should understand that when we are arguing and we are debating this House, we should actually build up our cases, Honorable Speaker. So the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Amendment Bill, Honorable Speaker, I really do support, because what we are amending is that if somebody is convicted of corruption crimes, that particular individual should be jailed, not for less than 10 years. You know, at the moment, it says that not more than 10 years. But we want them to be jailed for more than 10 years so that they can stay in prison as we develop our country. Because while they are outside, then they will destabilize our country. And you know, when only they go out for 10 years, some of them get even more experience of how to steal. You see the committee people who steal even cyber crimes, who steal through the phones. So sometimes they get even some more tactics to steal. So we want them to stay there for quite some time as we try to put relevant laws to deter them from corruption, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, if you find them less than 1 million and somebody have stolen 700 million, you already know that they have the money. They will just walk into the courts, pay their fine, and come and steal more because they know they will be fined less than what they have stolen. So it's a business, because that is what we do in business. You go into business, you invest some money because you know you'll make more than that money. So it will become a business between the courts and the corrupt individual, that they can invest less, 1 million, and still 700 million, Honorable Speaker. So I beg to second this very important bill, Honorable Speaker.